afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Throwbacks, where we talk all things cool and retro. And we are back, first time in a very long time, at least for me, of getting a vintage collection Star Wars figure. When these things took off into the $16 plus realm, I kind of checked out a lot. But what I will not check out on is the good old Obi-Wan, You're My Only Hope, Kenobi. So anytime there's a good Obi-Wan, I kind of got to make that happen. Just, for example, just went ahead and pre-ordered the new vintage collection old school Obi-Wan from A New Hope that just dropped about a week or so ago. Went ahead and grabbed two of these off the old Amazon in hopes of getting a good card, and what I got is two cards that aren't that good, so kind of a bummer there. This one's got a little Whoozy What's It here at the top, and this one's got a Whoozy What's It down in the bottom. They put it in a box that was, I mean, I kid you not, probably the size of my whole display back here. It was massive just for these two, so kind of a bummer. I guess I'm going to go with, golly, I don't know. They're both pretty rough. I guess it doesn't really matter. So let's look at the packaging here. I think we're going to go ahead and open up this one. So let's get this one out of the way and check out some packaging. Some really nice card art here. Good old Ewan McGregor looking great. This is his kind of end of the movie look, or end of the movie, into the TV show look. Card art on the back. Like that little display there of the action figure. And you do have a little blurb. Emerging from the darkest days, stronger and more hopeful than ever, Obi-Wan Kenobi looks forward toward the future and fulfilling his obligation to the steward of the Skywalker legacy. Is that really what his obligation was, to be the steward of the Skywalker legacy? I don't know. Maybe not. Luke's legacy for sure, but I guess technically in this show he did go and help out Leia, so I guess you can say he's the steward of the Skywalker legacy. Why not, right? I don't know. Oh, that was just a piece of fuzz. I was like, oh no, I picked the wrong one. A little in-package look here. Got all his accessories, so we're going to go ahead and take on out of here. So a little goggle action. He does live on Tatooine after all. And these tiny, tiny, tiny lightsabers. So small, so meager, so weak. So, as we're going through here, what do you guys think of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? Let us know in the comments down below. I loved everything about Obi-Wan Kenobi that involved Obi-Wan Kenobi. I just didn't understand the Reva stuff. I thought it took away. The fact that we were doing cutscenes from the Vader Obi-Wan fight to Reva chasing down Luke, I thought it was just a massive, massive miscalculation on Disney's part. But hey, that's kind of what Disney does with Star Wars, right? They do some serious miscalculations. But let's go ahead and jump into some accessories. Start off here with the goggles. Really nice. Good kind of translucent plastic there. Silver details. Really, really nice. Goes around there. Looks really good. This lightsaber. Whew, these things are tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I mean, the little plug-in for the lightsaber into the action figure itself is almost as big as the saber itself. Speaking of which, this is interesting. Let's have a look at this. So you got his normal lightsaber going on here. Are these the same size? I feel like they're not. Let's have a look here at these lightsabers. Guess they are. Just for whatever reason, they don't quite feel like they are. Maybe they're not as wide. I don't know. Good lightsabers all the same. And then on to Obi-Wan himself. Definitely a really nice head sculpt here. I think a little bit more detail, a little more graying of his beard and his hair would have been welcomed. Just add a little white flake kind of action going on here on the beard. I think that would have been nice. Otherwise, belt looks really good. A little bronzy gold look there. More belt action, looks good. Cloth, kind of half cape, half not cape, looks really nice. I do like the gloves. It's just such a weird thing for for us to see in on a Jedi. So here's some nice boot action. Good sculpt on the boot, gotta say. Give it credit there. Looks really nice. Good detail. I will question the choice of a trigger hand here. At this point, he's kind of in the show. He's done doing the blaster action, so not really sure what's up with that. If that is just reuse from a separate vintage collection figure, which is probably the case. I don't like that. I don't know why we did that. To me, that's a pretty big miss. I would like maybe the pointing hand if you really had to go somewhere, or just do another C grip, but kind of a miss there. But all in all, a pretty cool figure. But let's go ahead, get his accessories, get them all posed out, and give our final thoughts on the vintage collection Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright, got them all set up here, and I gotta say, the goggles are a big time bummer. If you see here, it's just like buried up underneath his chin. I did make sure that we are underneath his hair, but the goggles are still really buried there. And as you can see here on the card art, how they sit down clearly much further down on the figure, which is probably why they decided to pose him like this in the artwork. So having that compared to them, it really just being underneath his chin, just really hurts this figure. Definitely gonna have to go ahead and put them on top of his head. That is a miss for me. You know, I'm always happy to have an Obi-Wan, but that's a big miss, and this pointing finger is a miss, which I guess they're kind of using the pointing finger here to kind of like make it look like he's lifting up the glasses, which okay, I guess, but are we posing him in that look, or are we posing him, you know, kind of doing the stoic look with the goggles being down, you know, kind of like that, looking off into the distance at what's to come for his journeys as a Jedi and the protector of the Skywalker legacy, I guess. So a little bit of a miss there. All in all, still an okay figure. Just a few missteps that I would like to be fixed, especially at, like I said, the new 16 plus price point. Well, and then if the things that we don't talk about too much take effect, which I think they're supposed to be on pause or whatever. Anyway, possibly going higher. You can't have these mistakes. And that's what you've got there, Hasbro. So we're going to need you to do a little better. But what I need you guys to do right now is to hit us up with that like, with that comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel as we post new content every single day. But it is that time. It's time to get on out of here. So for myself and Uncle BJ, we're going to throw one back. And we'll see you all next time. Alright, just kidding. No, I'm getting more and more frustrated here. This hand will not stay up there to hold that pose. So, you know, that's not even a thing now. So, and then these goggles, they just sit kind of high. I've had to push them down multiple times, but they seem to just keep riding up so that the back, you know, is like sitting too high. It's like, I don't want this pose. I don't want this pose. This is not what I want. This is not an iconic Obi-Wan pose. Like, if you're gonna screw it up and want to do some silly goofy pose because you can't be bothered to put the right hand on, then at least make it to where the freaking arm will go right there. It won't go right there. Oh, cool. Here, let me glue it. Maybe I can glue it to his freaking forehead. Ugh.